Hey everyone, it's Denise Brown. Thanks for being with us today for the Caring Conference. Our next session is actually a movement session. Kathy Murri is going to help us with our grief through movement. And I want to mention, I had just spoke earlier that my brother died unexpectedly in August. And I have been using Kathy for grief movement. And it's been very powerful, not only in my grief for my brother, but grief around every other aspect in my life. So Kathy, take it away.
Thank you, Denise. I have to say that as I've been listening to the presentations this morning, I've been changing my list of what exercises we're going to do. So it's been a really great experience listening to everybody. And I'm glad you're all here to experience what we call grief movement, based on the understanding that every time there's a change, your body experiences it as a loss. And every time there's a loss, you feel some aspect of grief. So I'll just tell you a little bit about me. I'm a certified caregiving consultant, facilitator, educator, grief support specialist. And this year I got trained in grief movement. And I just want to say that I understand that, it's not everybody's comfort zone to be seen or heard while you're doing movement, breath, and sound exercises. So you're welcome to turn off your camera if you'd like. Really, if I wasn't leading this, I would be there with my camera and sound turned off. So I totally understand that. So to get started, my other caveat is that if we do anything and anything hurts, don't do it. Just sit that exercise out and resume with the next one. So I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Just plant your feet firmly on the ground. Straighten your back if you want. Just feel your sit bones in the chair. Take a deep breath in and breath out. And I invite you to put your hands, one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach. And as you're breathing in and out, just dedicate this practice to yourself, for showing up here today, for having the courage to share your experience, to do what you do, and to take part in this. So we're going to start by doing a little warm up. The first thing we'll do is a neck release. So basically, some of you may know this as neck circles. So I invite you to bring one ear to one shoulder, and then bring your chin to your chest, ear to the other shoulder, and then back if you're comfortable. And we'll just go around in that direction a couple of times, as fast or as slow as you want. And then if you want to, when you come to center, you can go in the other direction if you remember which direction you were going. And just do a couple of circles that way. A lot of us hold a lot of tension in our neck. So as you can see, I can't really bend mine very much, but that's because of the tension. So when you're ready, come back to center. And another place we hold our tension is in our shoulders. So I'll show you this exercise for shoulder release, which is basically making tight fists with your hands in front of you. And scrunch up your shoulders as tight as you can as you breathe in, and then breathe out and release. Let's do that again. Scrunch up and breathe in, breathe out and release. Let's do one more. Then breathe out and release. Excellent. Now I invite you to sit a little bit forward on your seat if you can, and we're going to draw circles with our torso as we did with our neck. So we do this by leaning a little bit forward, and then to one side, and then back, and then around. You can do that a couple of times in one direction. Come to center. You can go in the other direction if you would like. I find this is one that I do unconsciously when I'm sitting still and stressed. So I find this really helpful. When you're ready, come back to center. And we'll just do a brief side stretch. So I invite you to take your right hand, put it on your left knee, take your left hand and put it behind you, and just look to the side. Breathe in, breathe out, come back to center. And then take your left hand, put on your right knee, your right hand behind you, and turn to that side and breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center. Excellent. So now we're going to start with some of the more powerful exercises. And the first one is Canon Breath. It's just a breathing exercise. I invite you to put your hands on your belly. We're going to take 3 short breaths in. And as we exhale, I invite you to roar if you'd like, or just exhale, sigh, whatever feels comfortable. So I'll demonstrate. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that again. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's do one more. Breathe in. You can breathe as powerfully as you want or not. And I just also want to mention, you can do these exercises in sequence or separately. So, if you are inspired by something today, feel free to pop it into your routine anytime you want. Next exercise is called breaking the chains. So for this one, we stack our arms on top of each other like so with our fists. Breathe in. As we breathe out, we bring our elbows back to our side, and you can make noise if you want. Again, breathe in, breathe out. So you're starting to build up that power. We're now going to try to clear the space of all the things that are bothering us in our way, again with fists. But in this time, envision holding something in your fist, whatever you want to clear the space with. Could be a broom. Some people envision a sword, whatever you need to clear the space in front of you. And as you breathe in, bring your arm across your body. As you breathe out, release it and sweep away everything that's in your way. The other hand, breathe in, sweep away. Let's do another one. Breathe in, sweep it away. Breathe in, breathe out, sweep it away. Can also throw out the struggle by, again, fists. It seems to always start with fists, doesn't it? Fists. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, push all the things bothering you away in front of you. So breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, out. Let's do one more. And if you really feel you need to sweep your space, we can do breath of courage. I just shook my hands out. Sorry, and I'll invite you to do that as well. Sometimes it's good to shake your hands out in between. And breath of courage. So we breathe in, lift our arms up, breathe out, and sweep your hands behind you. So if you need to clear a lot of things out of your space, this is really helpful. Breathe out. You can bend down as far as you want. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. So now that we've cleared our space, what do we want to bring into our space? Is it the love and the support we feel from everyone around us? So I invite you to put one hand on your heart. With the other hand, just reach down, eyes open or closed, your choice, and scoop up all the love you feel from everyone. Maybe it's the love and support you feel here today. Maybe it's the love and support from people in your community, love and support from your family, love and support you give yourself. Just keep scooping in all that love and support that's out there for you. I think sometimes we get isolated and we forget about all of the love and support that's out there. And it's good to take a minute and just think about it. Breathe and scoop it in. And when you feel like you've scooped enough, just hold it for a second and close your eyes and breathe it in. Just feel it, like moving through your body all the way down to your toes, and breathe it out. Let's breathe it in again. And breathe it out. When you're ready, take as much time as you need to breathe that in. When you're ready, bring your hands together at center. We'll just take a moment to appreciate the circle of life and, any gratitude that you have for what's going on in your life. Breathe in and draw a big circle. Breathe it out as is comfortable and come back to center. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's think about, we've been talking a lot today about, we've been talking about a lot of things, but about courage and about, everything you're dealing with. And I invite you to bring your arms out to your side and just start breathing. Bringing your arms up as you breathe in, exhaling as you breathe out. This is a good exercise for getting oxygen into your body. Because sometimes when we're really stressed, we don't breathe in very deeply. And maybe you're flying over everything that you have to deal with every day. Maybe you're just flying over, all of your experience, all of your obligations, all of your duties, your to-do list. And you're flying now, you're above the trees, you're seeing the view, you're seeing the view from 10,000 feet of how everything you do fits into the big picture. Just really take a moment to think about what the big picture looks like, and how everything you do supports it, keeps it together, but how, if you need to, you can fly over it for a minute and just take a break from it by flying. And as you're flying over, do you see a place you'd like to be or a place you'd like to go? Maybe it's a place of respite. Maybe you're seeing your goals for the future. Maybe you're seeing some place that you want to be. And I invite you to visualize that place and start running toward that place. This is called hope in action. Think about running to that place and what that feels like to be on the move to either that place that gives you comfort or gives you respite or helps you meet your goal. Maybe you're running to a place where you have more support, or running to a place where you can be with your family, or running to a place that just brings you comfort. Just keep running to that place. Are you getting closer? And when you get to that place, let's just pretend that there's a big pool of peaceful water there for you. And this is water that's going to rejuvenate you, refresh you. I invite you to take your hands together, cup your hands together, dip down into that peaceful water, bring it up over your head, and very slowly just cover your body with that peaceful water. Over your head, over your neck, over your shoulders, your chest, your torso, every part of your body. And just feel how it feels to be cleansed by that water, to feel refreshed. Let's take a minute and take a breath in and a breath out. Next, I invite you to make that bowl again, but this time what we're going to fill that bowl with is your appreciations. And I invite you we're going to do 3 specific appreciations, 3 moments of appreciation for yourself. You can close your eyes if you want. And I invite you to capture in your hands, in your mind, a memory of when you felt particularly confident. Think about that moment. What were you doing? Who were you with? Where were you? Use your senses to bring that moment back into your mind, into your representationally, into your hands. What did it smell like? What did it taste like? What did it sound like? What did it feel like? What did it look like? When you have a really clear view of yourself looking confident in that moment, say yes and bring that memory into your heart. And breathe it in Again, breathe it in all the way from the top of your head down to your toes. Remember that confident moment. When you're ready, I invite you to bring your hands right out in front of you for another memory. This time, I'm going to ask you to think of a memory when you felt particularly competent, when everything was going right, your plans worked out perfectly. You came up with some great idea. You were on top of the world and everything was great. And again, think about where you were, who you were with, how it felt, sounded, tasted. Was there a smell involved? When you have that moment, when you felt particularly competent, say yes and bring that moment into your heart and breathe it in. And remember that moment. And when you're ready, I invite you to bring your hands out in front of you a third time. This time, I want you to think of a memory when you felt particularly courageous. What was the situation? Again, where were you? Who were you with? Why did you feel courageous? What did that feel like to feel courageous? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? What were the sounds, smells? What did it look like? Was there a taste involved? What was your courage like? When you have that moment, bring it in to your heart. Say yes, bring it into your heart. Breathe it in, breathe it out. And when you're ready, open your eyes and give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a hug for remembering and celebrating those moments. Remember, you can give yourself a hug anytime you need a hug. Apparently, it releases the same hormones as having a hug from somebody else, which is important for us to remember as we're still working through the pandemic. So I invite you to join me in putting your arms up. And we usually do this meditation by saying, may I be peaceful, may I be happy, may I be content. So I'm going to start with that, but I invite you to also substitute your own words to it, and I'm going to add a few myself. So we'll breathe in. May I be peaceful. Breathe out. May I be happy. May I be content. May I be confident. May I be courageous. And any others that you want to add. And I'll leave you with this reminder that you're in charge of your destiny. And we're going to do this breathing exercise called Maestro Breath. We're going to emulate a conductor conducting the orchestra. But remember that you're conducting your life, you're conducting your destiny. It may not feel like it all the time, but you are. So I invite you to bring your hands up and join your thumb and forefinger like a conductor would. And we take a breath in, a breath out, a breath in, and then release behind us. We'll do one more. Breath in, breath out, breath in, and release behind us. And again, come back and just give yourself a hug. Can just rub your arms if you want. You can just hold yourself. Thank you for joining me on doing these exercises. Happy to answer any questions. Again, I encourage you to basically take what works for you out of this and draw on them at any time that you need them. All right.
Thank you so much, Kathy. I want to mention something that I've spoken about before, and that is I was waking up in the middle of the night, and it was between 3 and 4. This was in the spring, and I started wondering, why am I waking up? And it was, from what I read on the internet, because I was in a place of grief. I was sad about a situation that was going on in my life. And what I did, because of what Kathy taught us about grief movement, was hug myself. So when I woke up, I acknowledged I am sad about this situation. I hugged myself, and then I was able to fall back asleep. So instead of waking up and thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm awake. How am I going to work tomorrow or later today? Or, the anxiety and the worry would just run away, which made it even harder for me to fall asleep. So the acknowledgement of I am sad about this situation going on in my life right now, hugging myself, just that movement made everything seem better. I'm curious, Kathy, if you have a favorite movement.
I think it varies depending on what I'm facing that day or what I'm going through. I mean, I really love the shoulder release because I just have such tense shoulders always. And that's the first thing I found that actually really works to help it. But lately I'm really getting into flying over, because it's such a great movement and it just feels so freeing to be able to do that.
I hold a lot of tension in my jaw. And so Kathy has helped me with that, with a movement. Could you do that really quickly with us?
Yes, I did. So, basically, I invite you to clench your hands together in front of you and loosen your jaw a little bit. And we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, just sigh it out through your jaw while shaking your hands. So again, breathe in. Breathe out. Another thing I think I showed Denise is that you can very gently massage the space between your jaw, while your jaw is relaxed. You have to be careful not to push too hard. I had a yoga teacher who said, I can't teach this to teenagers because they'll hurt themselves, but we're old enough to know what gentle is. So do that, and that helps. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just so powerful to know that there are simple movements we can do right where we are that can take away some of what hurts. And it's this acknowledgement that the emotional pain can manifest in physical pain in our body. I think during caregiving, you probably have this experience of, why does my body hurt? Well, it's because caregiving hurts.
It's the issues in our tissues, right? Issues in our tissues.
So Kathy has given us a gift today, not only in this presentation, but a gift that she's giving away. And that is a free grief movement session. And Patty Sharon, you have won. Okay, I'm always so excited when someone wins and they love it. Okay, so we're going to add you to the spreadsheet, and then Kathy will be in touch with you next week to share. And you all have another chance to win because we are going to do some door prizes, and I'll add the door prize winners to our spreadsheet, and I'll share that later today. Okay, I misspoke. I thought we had our longer break coming up, but we actually don't. We're going to take a 10-minute break, come back, and then we have our longer break at 25 past. So I'll see you back here in 10 minutes. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating.